Hello again. This is now the start of the actual Civil 3D portion of the tutorial. I apologize in advance if my voice doesn't sound great. I'm a little bit sick right now, but that won't be constant through all of the videos. So at this point, you should have watched the introduction video, looked at the assignment documents, and you should have also set up OneDrive and downloaded Civil 3D if you have not already. So please do those things first before you start this part of the tutorial. For this part of the tutorial, the first thing I want to go over is just setting up a file in your OneDrive. So you can see this is my University of Virginia OneDrive, and I have a project. It's just called Project Tutorial, and this is where I'll be saving all of my Civil 3D files. Now I'm going to show you how I do this, but you're welcome to use your own system. I just really encourage you to make as many backups as you can. So this is what the project looks like for me so far. So you can see the number breaks it up into deliverables. There will be 8 deliverables. And then I have A, B, C, D, E going to help number them in order, along with the name of what I'm working on in each file. Now to do these, all I'm doing basically is opening a file, which we'll go over, creating a new one, and working in it. And then in the file explorer here, will just right click it and copy it and paste it, and then change the name of it. So that way I'm making incremental backups as I go along. Now you're welcome to use a different naming scheme than this. You're welcome to save way more often than I do, or less than I do. So I recommend not doing less than I do. Civil 3D can be a very finicky program, and it's very easy for your work to get corrupted or lost or destroyed, and the last thing we want is for you to put in hours of work into something and then have it all be inaccessible. So again, this is how I do it, but you don't have to do it this way. And then I have a couple more folders down here for some testing files, sheet sets, which we'll talk about later, and some analysis files, which we'll talk about later. So you can see you'll need Excel for this as well, although all of you should already have Excel. And that shouldn't be a problem. If not, you can always access the online version through your UVA email. So now let's go into actually opening Civil 3D. After you've downloaded it, you'll notice that you'll have 2 versions of Civil 3D on your computer. You'll have Imperial and Metric. And because we work in the US, our civil engineering standards are actually all in Imperial units. Trust me, I don't like it either. I wish everything was in Metric. But this is how it works here. So this is what we're going to use. So go ahead and navigate to your Civil 3D 2026 Imperial version and go ahead and open it. It's going to take a little bit to load, especially the first time you do this. Civil 3D is a very big program, and it has a lot of power because of that, but it also means it can run slowly. So I recommend always trying to do this with your laptop when you're plugged in to a charger, so your laptop can use as much power as it needs. I recommend closing any applications you don't need, or using the provided computers in Olson or the mechanical engineering building, where you can also access Civil 3D. So you can see here Civil 3D is open. It might ask you to sign in with your account, which will just be the same account that you used to make it, to download Civil 3D. And this is what the opening screen will look like for you. You will not have any projects here. I have a bunch of projects because I've done this before, but for you, this should be totally blank. And you can see here, there's a top ribbon, which we'll go over in the next video. And then all your file controls are right here. So the first thing you're going to do is go to new and create a new file. But I just want to talk about this interface really quickly. This is a really good file directory just to see kind of what files you've last been working on. You can sort them. You can change the way they're ordered. And you can open files here. Civil 3D will open multiple drawing files. These are called drawing files. Every individual file with a project is a drawing file. And you can open multiple of them here, and they'll show up right here on this top ribbon. So you could have, for example, going back to this, you could have 1A open, and it'll come up here, and 2A and 2B, and all of them are tabs. So you can switch between in just one window. There's also some extra information here. There are some great Civil 3D tutorials already out there that you're welcome to look at if you want. Civil 3D also has an entire set of drawing files that you've already downloaded with the program, with a lot of great tutorials in them. So for example, one of them will go over intersection design, and the file is already set up to where you can start the intersection design right away. And this is a fairly new button called My Insights. It's kind of like an AI generated way of telling you things you could do better. I would mostly ignore this for now. It's really new. It just came out with this version. But that option is there if you ever wanted to look at it. All right, now we're going to start and make a new project. So we're going to go to New and create a new drawing file. And you can see here, it's called Drawing 1. And this is your workspace. And now, before we do anything else, we're just going to save this really quickly. So if you just go to the top and you click Save As, navigate to that folder you saved it in. So for me, it's a little bit hidden, but it's in here. And I am just going to label this 1A Project Introduction. Feel free to name this however you would like. Make sure you're saving it as a drawing file though. All right, now that we have opened up Civil 3D and saved a file, we will go into all of the things here that you're looking at and why my background might look different than yours in the next video.